It's another great episode here at On the Path, and we're having a party because my favorite artist right now is in the building. I have been loving everything she puts out. She is the first female Christian rapper recognized for having a commercial breakout success. She has collaborated with icons like Lecrae, Toby Mac, and others, and her song In the Light has just reached 1 million streams on Spotify. You know what? Listen to this. That's right. The one and only Wande is in the building, and I get to speak with her one-on-one about her brand new album that is coming in the summer called Breakthrough. She talks about the inspiration behind it and also her 30-city tour that she's gearing up for called Girls Night Out with, get this, gospel legends Kierra Sheard, Corinne Hawthorne, and Naomi Raine, all 4 of these powerhouses together touring the States. And I get to speak with Wande about her life, what she has learned, the major lessons along the way, and why she got baptized recently again. So good. Guys, available on all podcast platforms, or you can watch it on Yes TV in Canada, stream it into the castle in Canada, and in the States, you can watch it on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Cross TV, Faith TV, Pioneer Channel, many streaming platforms. And I'm gonna dance it out over here. I will see you on the path.
You're listening to On the Path podcast with Cheryl Nembhard, brought to you by Fight for Freedom. Follow Cheryl Nembhard on all social media platforms.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On the Path. I'm so excited to have you with us. Hey guys, as we always say, we are on the path of life. We are learning as we go, and God is allowing us to hear from these incredible teachers, storytellers who aren't just sharing from their mountaintop experiences, guys, because that's all the warm and fuzzy stuff, but they are sharing from the very raw, vulnerable valley moments of their life. That's where our faith is strengthened, and I believe that that's where our character is shaped. And man, do we have a teacher in the building. You may or may not know this voice, but I'm telling you, she is blazing a trail. It's a matter of time until you get to know the powerhouse that is Wande. I'm so excited for Canada to get to know her a little bit more. Let me tell you about her. Wande is recognized as the first female Christian rapper to achieve major commercial success, and Wande has left an indelible mark on the industry, and let me tell you, she is just getting started. She's toured along with icons like Lecrae. She's collaborated with artists like Toby Mac and is about to launch, get this, a 30-city tour with gospel powerhouses Kierra Sheard, Corinne Hawthorne, and Naomi Raine. And it's entitled, I love this title, The Girls Night Out Tour. Her smash hit In the Light has reached 1 million streams on Spotify. And I'm going to tell you right here, and my family will vouch, I think I'm almost half of those things. I play it in the car. I play it when I work out. I play it in the shower. It's nuts. It's become like a warfare song. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm in good company because apparently the one and only First Lady Michelle Obama has her on her playlist along with Kirk Franklin and many others. Can you please welcome to On the Path, Wande? Hey. Wande, I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
This is one of the moments that I am like, I love my job. I have been listening to everything you've put out. You are just so gifted. And by the way, congratulations on the voting that's happening for the Stellar Awards.
Thank you so much.
Round two. Let's go. Anyone that can vote, please do. And tell us the categories that you're in.
Yeah, I'm nominated for a rap hip hop song of the year and music video of the year. So we're in the light as well. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Wanda, you're such an inspiration to so many people. You're a real gift, not just for millennials and Gen Zs, but even for us Gen Xers. You just are revolutionizing Christian hip hop, and you're making it mainstream and relevant, and you're redeeming it in many ways. But I always think that behind every powerful story, there is a story that kind of shaped that powerhouse, that made them who they were. And it wasn't always great. Sometimes there was a little hardship there. And I wonder if you could tell us, so we can get to know you a bit more, a little bit about your story, Wanda.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, it's very interesting because at a young age, I had the privilege to be saved, but I realized at a young age how much of a personal decision it was, because growing up, my family was actually 90% Muslim and then like 10%, basically my mom and maybe one uncle Christian. And so, growing up, I didn't realize the severity of faith, especially because as a child, you're just innocent. But luckily, just kind of growing up, around maybe 13, I started feeling conviction. And I was like, you know what, God, I think I do want to honor you. Like all the little things that you heard in like children's church began to, actually resonate with me. And so because of that, I was like, okay, God, I'm going to start this with music. So let me see if I can find any Christian remixes of current songs that are on the radio. And from there, I was able to find actual Christian rappers such as Lecrae, which then led me to go to a summer camp. And I was actually never allowed to go to summer camp because of the Muslim side of my family. My father thought that was too much. And my mom was like, hey, if you can convince your dad to let you go to summer camp, that's on you, but I'm not getting involved in that. He allowed me to go to the summer camp because they had an internship program. So I think he wasn't thinking that much into it. He was like, yeah, internship program. Yeah, college. And so I went and I ended up getting saved for real at the camp. And then at the end, Lecrae and them came on the last day of the camp. I was able to see them as well, which is so funny because I had no idea that I'd be joining them at the time. And yeah, God radically changed my life. That was in middle school for me, about 7th grade, between 7th and 8th grade. And from there, like, I was just super passionate. God radically changed my life. He showed me my worth and that I didn't have to live for the acceptance of other people, which in middle school is a big thing because you want to just be like other people. You want to be just like whoever's popular. You're so moldable to whatever society is telling you this is what life means. And so luckily, God was able to catch me at a young age to where now I was living for who Christ said I was. And yeah, my passion was just telling people about Jesus, and being bold like that led me to having best friends who actually loved God as well. And we were able to start Bible studies, even just moving on into high school. And it's beautiful. I've seen God move in different areas of my life. Like in high school, a small Bible study that we had with 10 kids moved to 200 kids. We were able to see like our school, even it being a secular school, public school, they were like, hey, whatever you're doing is changing the atmosphere. So please take the money, do whatever you need to do, keep going, because you're changing our school. Like, we were known as a school that had fights and shootings, and then we became known as the well-known school of having good kids and people who impact the community. So literally Christ was changing things. I saw kids who were suicidal. All of a sudden they're bright, smiling and stuff. And before, they were sitting by themselves wearing all black and never talked. And so it was really beautiful. I felt like privileged. It was like, oh, is this what it's like being a disciple? Like, it was great. It was great. And from there, along the way, during high school, God showed me I could rap, which opened a new chapter of life as well. And I was able to begin my rap journey. And yeah, I've been able to see God move tremendously just through music as well. Just transferring my love for God that I already had now into the music to tell people about the gospel on a mass level. And so that's a little bit about my story that kind of led me to where I am today.
Goodness, what a story, Wande. I got to ask you, just off the cuff, when you were in school on fire, literally preaching down the halls of the school and watching that group go from 10 to 200, what came into your mind? Did it click for you that there's a call on my life? Did that happen then, or was that later?
I think at the time, no, we didn't know. We were just passionate about Jesus, honestly. It was just me and my friends. And I will say that there were some special moments that felt almost sacred, because we would meet as a leadership team and just pray at each other's houses and pray for next week what we're going to talk about, how to prepare. We even did an internship actually one summer at a church because we weren't equipped and we didn't understand at the time, like, this is the size of churches. And so
That's right.
Luckily, there was a local church that took us in for the summer, and they just taught us like how to lead, how to serve properly, organizational leadership. Made sure we had a thorough understanding of the Bible, having prayer time in the morning. So that was even beautiful because that was a great, seed planted in me at a young age that I didn't even realize at the time helped me be a better leader and helped us all be able to understand like how to, how to lead and facilitate these students properly and not just like talk. But yeah, I think we've definitely felt the Holy Spirit in the room because people's parents would be calling them like, where are you at? Like, and they're like, oh, Mom, just give me 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. I'm coming.
Oh my,
and
they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. And it started from just sharing a testimony of how we got saved. And it was so potent that people wanted to hear more and they would invite their friends the next week. And that's how it multiplied so rapidly because the 10 brought one friend, became 20, brought one friend, became 40. And it was beautiful.
Goodness. And now we fast forward, we're seeing the hand of God on your life at a young age. You don't have the language for it, but you're seeing like when I avail myself, like God moves, and you're seeing the response of young people. You have a connection with young people. And now here you are, you're at the doorstep of a 30-city tour, like with Kiara Sheard. Oh, just Kiara Sheard, Corinne Hawthorne, legends, Naomi Rain, just awards and awards all combined between the four of you. How excited are you for that? And how long have you known those guys?
I'm thoroughly excited. For some of them, it's my first time. So I know Kiara, we knew each other just passively through the internet. She reached out to me before to be like, hey, like, can we do like some type of remix? I know Corinne, we worked together before. We had like a TV situation in the past, but unfortunately that didn't get to come out. But we were able to know each other from that situation. And then Naomi, we've been able to know each other from last year because I did a remix with Maverick City for a Firm Foundation. And so, yeah, it's just kind of like almost passive. But then whenever we're able to meet in like real life and be able to unite, honestly, yeah, we were all really cool. Like we all love each other. Everybody's really peaceful and calm, but at the same time, lively and energetic. And yeah, they all really love God for real, for real. So I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be powerful. I think the ministering, because I feel like the Spirit's going to lead also, like just while we sing and rap to where it's like, hey, we're going to stop the song. I feel led to say this. And so I'm really excited just for how it's going to be and how just even us uniting as sisters will even help our individual careers later in life as well, just from sisterhood. So
yeah, it's true sisterhood, and I live for it. I love to see women sharing their platform, making space at the table, and I love that you're doing something for the next generation. And yes, it's called Girls Night Out, but you're opening the invitation to all the guys as well, right?
Yes, correct.
So we need everyone in the house. I already looked at the dates. I was talking with my family. My daughter is obsessed with you. She's 24. And I was like, okay, well, Washington, D.C. We got to think north, right?
Yeah, there's a New York date, New York.
The Brooklyn, I saw that. Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. So we're gonna definitely come to one of those two. We'll be in the building. I will try to scream your name. You probably won't hear me, but just know it's from the heart.
Yeah, no, reach out. I can see if I can hook y'all up. So I'll write it down and be like, these are my friends from the
Oh, you're the best. Oh, you're the best, Wande. Listen, I've been wanting to ask you this question for a long time because every time I look at you, Wande, and I watch what you're doing, not to set you apart or gas you up, as they say, but there's something very different about you. I hear the word soldier. I hear the word warrior. You just carry this like assignment to bring freedom to the next generation. It's very clear. And I they always say you need thick skin for the music industry because it's just, ugh. But I think even in music ministry, you need a resilient heart. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder, has there ever been a moment, vulnerably, Wande, that you've wanted to just walk away?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And what made you stay? Share that.
Yeah, I think being an artist is very difficult because especially whenever you join a label and it becomes business, it becomes difficult because now there's money involved and everybody has their own opinion of how money should be allocated or what a definition of a good job is or different sales metrics and stuff like that. And so I would say I know I've been through seasons where things got difficult because even with that too, I had to submit my songs to feedback of others as well. And I think feedback is great, but then at the same time, it can be difficult if you submit things and then other people have an opinion of oh, well, let's wait and not use this for 4 months or, oh, let's, let's do something else completely different from like the vision you felt like led to do. Or even if like, say we're all human and we all make mistakes. And so say we make a mistake, but then everybody thinks it's like a huge major deal when it's like, hey, if you made that same mistake, you wouldn't like if I responded to you in that capacity. So I would say like I've been through some struggles just because I had to do a lot of learning as a young adult that maybe people don't do until they're like 45 about running a company, being a leader, overseeing things within like a 2-year, 3-year span. And I'm held at the standard as if I've been doing this for 20 years. And so I would say that's been difficult because a lot of times I also didn't have like an advocate to help me along the way as well, because I didn't really have anyone to be like, okay, well, who's another female rapper who's been through this? There was none. And so I think along the way, yeah, it was just difficult because it's really just I had Jesus. He would send me some friends along the way for seasonally, but even that I learned some lessons too of like what a quality friend looks like or what does quality counsel look like. And even this year, I know I have a whole new team around me, which is beautiful, but it took me learning what does a quality team member look like and going through some lessons of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have added this person because they didn't give me the best counsel along the way. So definitely all of that can weigh on your mental health as one person. And I literally had to just call on Jesus and be like, Jesus, you have to make me through it because I'm tired. I'm getting insults every day and I'm really trying to serve God, but I'm getting insults every day doing this. You should have did this. You should have did this. And it's like, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? And so I handle it with the most grace I can at the time, but it is definitely hard whenever you're expected to perform at a high level consistently, create at a high level consistently, look good consistently, yet look modest, all of that stuff, and be biblically sound consistently, while still being young, still growing, still developing.
Wow. So what makes you get back in the ring every time?
I think it's the souls. Honestly, it's like salvation is way more important than all of this. So it's like, okay, I'll go through these insults or even people on the internet trying to insult me because they still don't see I'm getting messages every day of, hey, Wande, I was going to, pass away. I was going to do something to harm myself. But then your music encouraged me and showed me who God is. And now I started reading my Bible and now I'm living on fire for God. So that type of stuff keeps me going. And just knowing, God is better than all of this. And I think because I had the privilege of being saved at a young age, I've been able to see the full circle moment. So there are people who in high school thought I was stupid. But then now as adults, they're like, hey, one day the Jesus stuff you were talking about in high school, fun fact, I love God now and I see that you weren't crazy. So I think also being able to see the full circle moments of knowing like someone might think you're crazy now, in 6 months they might sober up and say, you know what, maybe you actually weren't crazy. So that also keeps me going, knowing like it's just a season. Like it's not them. They're not really attacking me. It's really just Christ, and also just knowing humanity and having grace. So even if I do legitimately mess up or something like that, like you can't beat yourself up. God still loves you as who you are. So you just need to know that you messed up, realize, okay, what can I do to do better? And then now implement that and do better. But just like being stagnant in the past and trying to inflict pain on you that Christ isn't even trying to inflict on you is not going to enhance your life. So that keeps me going, just knowing like there's souls to be won, there's souls to be saved. And hey, if you messed up, do better. Great.
I love that. And one day when you look at the world around you, at this crazy world and all that your generation is going through, what do you want your music to do?
I think I want my music to point people to Christ and give them a sense of hope. I think a lot of music now that I sense that resonates with people in the world, it's a lot of pain and heartbreak and just real struggles that go on, but then they leave them there and they don't point them to a sense of hope. So I think for me, I want to show people like, hey, I'm relatable. I've been through things too, but we're not going to stay here. There's something more that can go beyond your situation. There's something that can heal you from your situation. So that way it can stop with you, and in future generations, y'all can experience joy, y'all can experience freedom. And so I think, I definitely want to point people to hope, point people to who Christ is, let them get to know him. And just even for Christians, give them like a soundtrack to the lifestyle to be excited to, be able to be on fire for God.
And on fire we are. I tell you, I go extra hard. You give me another 30 minutes with just in the light. I just play it on repeat, and no matter what is cramping, I am going hard. to that song. Goodness, Wande, you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. I know recently, just for your own walk, you really felt a call, a pull to get rebaptized.
Yes.
I saw that. And I read your post and I was so moved because you listed 3 reasons of why now, why it mattered. And I wondered if you can unpack those. I'm sure you haven't had a chance to just sort of sit with it. Tell us about that moment and what brought you to that rebaptizing.
Yes. So it was really beautiful. And I'm so glad, I was able to listen and be obedient. And I guess I would want to encourage any other Christians because it was actually beautiful because a lot of different leaders around my age also got rebaptized around that time. And none of us knew that we were all going to go do that. And so a lot of us, what was going through our head is like, oh, is this embarrassing? I'm a Christian leader. I'm going to look crazy, going to go get baptized, and look like I don't understand the gospel. And it's like, I understand the gospel. Like, I know what being baptized means, but there comes a point when human understanding, you have to put that aside and humble yourself and listen to what Christ is telling you to do. So I definitely had to humble myself because I'm well known at my church and they're like, oh, that's Wande. But it was beautiful because when I humbled myself and walked away, the fear that was in my head, nobody was doing that. People were excited to see me go walk over to the baptism table. People were excited and like, oh yes, Wande, so congratulations. And yeah, the main reasons as to why that God gave me the revelation later on was, one, whenever I got baptized maybe when I was about 17 years old. And I had to do it secretly, unfortunately, because a lot of my family is Muslim and they were strongly against it. It was almost like on some, I'm going to disown you if I find out you get baptized. And, that's a lot for a 17-year-old. And so, but I really felt led, like I really wanted to get baptized. So I signed up and I just kind of had to go to my cousin's house and then they dropped me off and then I was able to get baptized and I came home, but I was never able to take pictures of it. Back then social media wasn't too popular, but I wasn't able to have my family with me at the time. It was just me and, the pastors who were there baptizing me and my friends at the time. But I think that was even a redeeming moment, being able to do it publicly and be unashamed about like, hey, I'm getting baptized. I want the world to see, I'm team Jesus. I'm not team a devil over here. And then the second bullet point I had was later on in life, because, I was 17 when the first one happened. I joined a sorority in college. And also I had a revelation from that. So that's, I don't support joining sororities just because a lot of the initiation ceremonies that you have to do are counter what the Bible says. Like the Bible talks about like having no other God before Christ. And a lot of them make you do different things like kneel down. A lot of them have a Roman God like on their shield. A lot of them twist scripture. It's very deep and very like calculated. And it's unfortunate that they take advantage of like young college students because you'll see your other friends and you're like, oh, well, my friend is there and they go to church. So it must not be bad if my friend who goes to church or it's a Christian, allegedly, is a member. And so that's like part one of you like rationalizing like, oh, it's fine. And then two, like when you're in it, it's also like other people are around you and it's like, oh, if one person quits, everybody has to quit. So then you feel bad and you're like, oh, well, I can't quit. And then you see a Bible verse and you're like, oh, there's a Bible verse, so it must not be bad. But then the Bible verse is your God will be my God. And it's like, they're not talking about Jesus. So they're really playing in your face repeatedly. And then they'll do things like community service church moments. So then you're like, it brings a lot of confusion in a young adult where it's like, oh, they went to church. There's a church service after. But they already played in your face and you already like did an initiation that was not for God. So I had to also go against, my flesh. And I had to basically, even though it was embarrassing, denounce as well and leave. And, I prayed and said like, God, remove me from any affiliation, sent an official letter to say, I'm leaving. And it's been beautiful. I think even with that, Christ, he taught me a lot about how to properly handle that. So I know like my initial thing is just, hey guys, leave. But Christ has taught me new lessons in that of like how to properly share my testimony to encourage other brothers and sisters. I even knew I was fear driven. So in the past I was fear driven and I thought being loving was like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings and make them feel bad for still being a member, even though I left, And so, but Christ has shown me love is telling people the truth, even if they may feel convicted along the way. And so I've learned all those lessons too in terms of sharing my testimony and like personally reaching out to people like, hey, this is why I left, and take it or leave it. And it's been beautiful. A lot of women have actually left as well and decided to follow Christ. And so even that was a rebirth, because a part of joining that, after you do the ceremony thing, you have to do a public, they call it a probate. So you have to do a public announcement of like, hey, y'all, I'm a new member. And it's like, it's supposed to be represent a new you. They give you a new name, everything. And it's very like playing with Christianity. And so, yeah, same with that, how I had to have a new name, whatever. I'm publicly divorcing that, and I'm saying, okay, with Christ, getting baptized, I have a new me. I'm with Christ. Anything in the past is gone. That's former. That's no longer attached to me. So even that was really beautiful, doing a public declaration, just like I had to do it for the nonsense. I'm publicly declaring for Christ that I'm representing him, and I no longer want any affiliation with anything that was in the old me. And so that was beautiful. And then just entering a new chapter of my life, it's even been beautiful. I'm working on a new album, and it's called Breakthrough. And so even that was beautiful. And it just kind of symbolizes like what Christ is doing in my life right now, like a lot of breakthrough and entering a new season in my life. So it's definitely been really beautiful.
Man, you are a new creation, Wande. Even your speech is changing. Just from the beginning of your ministry to now, you are fearless. And I just love that. I love that you are not going to back down. You're going to speak your truth. You're going to be a mouthpiece for the Lord, and that you are not afraid of the darkness, because you know that greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. And I'm so thankful that you are representing the next generation. We need you, Wande. My goodness. Listen, you just talked about, I heard you drop it, so I'm going to jump on it. Did you just say you have a new album coming up?
Indeed. I have a new album on the way.
Do share.
Yes, so I have a new album on the way called Breakthrough. I'm so excited. So much phenomenal music. The label is excited. They're like, wow, just drop the money. So it's great, and it's so beautiful because a majority of the songs are praise and worship songs too, which is like, that's my passion. That's my 10 whenever it can be worship unto the Lord. So I'm excited because it's like a soundtrack to breakthrough. Just the different things that you go through in a season of breakthrough. One, realizing, God, I'm in need of a savior. I need breakthrough in my life. I need help. I can't do this on my own. And then just the next trials of just actually breaking through and like not taking no for an answer, spiritual warfare, and then actually being free and just giving praise to God, like, thank you, Lord, for saving me. Thank you, Lord, for my new season and my new chapter that I'm walking in. So I'm very excited to put it out. It's it's great, and it's new, it's fresh. I feel like it's going to be refreshing to a lot of people to hear how much I've grown since my last project. Right. And I think it'll be even great for people who are in their season of breakthrough, to get them confidence to be like, I'm seeking the Lord. I'm going to address the things I haven't addressed and handle them and give it all to God. So I'm excited.
Any drop date for us? What you got?
I know it'll be late summer, so it's giving July.
Ooh, summer
it's
bangers.
Giving July, like late July or early August, but late July, early August. That's when it'll be.
Love it. Yeah. I just want to throw it out there. July 23rd is my birthday. I know we just met, but you can call me adopted auntie, and
there we go.
And listen, how can we get a hold of you? How can we, I was going to say stalk you, but I know that has a different meaning at your level, but how can we track with you and find out all the things, socials, everything?
Yeah, you can keep up with me on socials at OMG It's Wande. Even my main website, omgitswande.com, will always have the latest updates and links. And just on any streaming platform, just search Wande. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple, just WANDE. Yes, we are there.
Thank you for listening to On the Path podcast with Cheryl Nembhard. Please like, download, and subscribe. This has been an Exousia Media production.